says it won't need a request by the House Judiciary Committee to turn over documents in a sweeping investigation into whether President Trump obstructed justice. In a letter to House Judiciary Chair Gerald Nadler, White House counsel Pat Cipollone accused Democrats of attempting a do-over of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of Trump. Congressmember Nadler accused Cipollone of, quote, claiming that the president is a king. He said he was considering holding Trump administration officials who refused to testify in contempt and may levy very large fines against anyone defying a congressional subpoena. In Paris, the leaders of France and New Zealand Wednesday unveiled an agreement to combat online extremism. The so-called Christchurch Call is named after the New Zealand city where in March a white supremacist gunman killed 51 worshippers at 2 mosques and live-streamed the massacre on Facebook. This is New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern.
The social media dimension to the attack was unprecedented. And our response today with the adoption of the Christchurch Call is equally unprecedented as well. Never before have countries and tech companies come together in the wake of a horrific attack to commit to an action plan that will deliver collaboratively work and new technology built to make our communities ultimately safer.
So far, the Christchurch Call has the support of 16 countries, the European Commission, and 8 tech giants, but the Trump administration said Wednesday it, quote, is not currently in a position to join the endorsement. The White House cited concerns the agreement could violate First Amendment. In New York Times opinion piece last weekend, Prime Minister Ardern wrote she supports free speech rights, but that, quote, that right does not include the freedom to broadcast mass murder. In Yemen, at least 6 civilians were killed and dozens more wounded today as U.S.-backed Saudi-led coalition warplanes bombed residential areas of Yemen's capital, Sana'a. The violence came as Houthi rebels and Saudi-backed forces clashed in the port city of Hodeidah, threatening to unravel a ceasefire and a planned pullout from the city by Houthi forces. In Sudan's capital, Khartoum, government troops opened fire on pro-democracy protesters Wednesday with live ammunition, wounding at least 14 people. The violence came just days after at least 6 protesters and 1 soldier were killed at a similar protest. After the latest shootings, the head of Sudan's ruling military council said he'd suspended talks with pro-democracy demonstrators for 3 days, accusing them of failing to de-escalate tensions. Demonstrators have been demanding a transfer from military to civilian rule following last month's military coup that ousted longtime leader Omar al-Bashir.